could now say that we're safely out of the woods. Perfect. And not too much snow on the car either. It was just a light dusting, enough to cover up most of my footprints, especially if it continues on throughout the day. All packed up, and I need a tea desperately. That's exactly what this morning calls for. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope this gave you a break from watching the news for half an hour or so, and I guess I'll let you get back to watching the news. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you next week.
Allegra is the allergy relief with 0% brain interference, so you can use it even when you're driving. It's a no-brainer.
Hello, my stealthy friends. The beautiful wife has just dropped me off in an industrial area with a pretty sweet park here. So I'm going to crawl into here, get set up for the night for a good old-fashioned stealther. Now this, I'll have to do some bushwhacking. It's a pretty dense forest, or a little park here. And that's okay. I had to up my attire from the ragged flannel, because I can't be looking like some ragamuffin if I'm actually trying to do some stealth camping. I have to look like an upstanding, normal person, not stealth camping. Oh, here we are. This is good. Get a little further in here, and we get things set up. This looks like an awfully good spot, nice and far from the road, and there's a little berm there as well, so that stops people from looking directly into the woods at a low level. I've got my 2 trees here I can tie a hammock onto, which will be just perfect. Quick look for widowmakers. I don't think there's anything that should fall down and squish me in the night. No, that one's still alive. Good. This will be home for the night. I'll trample down a few of these thorn bushes here. They're actually wild roses. You can see the rose hips on them from last year. And those great. Anyhow, yeah, we'll get that set up. And there's probably a couple more hours of people working in this industrial park here. So I'm going to lay low and not turn on any lights around twilight, that type of thing, because that's when people are really going to be coming and going. Let's get started. One of the big downsides with winter stealth is the amount of stuff you actually have to carry if you're going to stay warm. Last night was around about minus 20 Celsius. So those are serious temperatures. Today is a little warmer. And we'll get this hammock set up. It's a 4-season Hennessy hammock. So we'll see if that means for Canadian seasons or exactly what. It's got a little insulated layer in it. So that'll be good, I hope. Perfect. Awesome. Now this is just about perfect for a little camping thing as soon as I clear more of these thorn bushes here. These hammocks do come with integrated flies on them. I am just using my white polytarp, or white-ish polytarp, because that should blend in a lot better than this military green. I'll string that over top, and that will provide some trapping for the heat because I'm going to run a little propane thing. I'll also stop anybody from that road from just seeing me walk around all willy-nilly. Now, I got the bulk of it set up. I could tweak it a little bit more, but I've made a lot of movement, and I just want to sit still for a second. There's a transport truck that pulled up right beside us, and he could be waiting there for a little bit to unload or pick up a load from one of the docks here. So keep an eye on him, but setting everything up depleted a lot of essential nutrients. So I need to recharge with a little vitamin beer. That is not a sound heard in nature, beer cracking. So you always have to muffle that a little bit. Better yet, bring rummers. Now, this is a stealth spot. A cube van pulled up about 20 minutes ago and it's been sitting there right in clear line of sight. I'm just trying to move around as slowly as possible, but I really have to get this set up before it gets too dark and then I need the flashlight. So I'm putting on as few strings as I need to get this set up, which is a pretty good thing to do when you're stealthing because you don't know when you'll have to take it down really quickly, which I did on Wednesday. That's where I was on Thursday, if anybody didn't see the memo. I had everything ready to go. I was setting her up. And a bunch of kids started playing right beside my urban stealth setup. I didn't think they still did that, but they were throwing snowballs and everything. Whole gaggle of kids, must have been 6 or 7 of them. So that was just quite the thing. And I got out of there real quick because people don't take kindly to stealth camping in general. And if they don't know I'm stealth camping, I'm just some creepy old guy in the woods with a camera. So I really got out of there super quick. I think he's left. Awesome. Okay, time to go. I'm going to use this moment of privacy here to get everything fully set up. Camping gear never seems to come in colors that occur in nature. Everything I have is bright yellow, blue, you name it. So it'd be good to be able to sit down in here, away from the prying eyes of those do-gooders trying to flush me out of the woods. To me, that looks fairly stealthy. Moving back out here a little bit. And a lot stealthier than me tripping over branches. Oh yeah. By the time I get back out to the main road, You shouldn't be able to see anything at all. Nothing at all. Just hide those bags out of the way. And I think it's smooth sailing. Oh yeah, I feel a lot less detectable right now. The sun is just starting to set. Staying still gets you a little cold. Of course, fire is not stealthy at all unless it's a stealth Dakota fire pole. But we're using propane. Got this little guy. Screws right onto the 1 pound cylinder, and little C3H8 will warm things up. Warm things up beautifully, in my opinion. There we go. Fantastic. I had to bring this along because although it's a 4-season hammock, anytime I've heard 4-season, it means 1 season. Anytime I've heard 3-season, it means 1 season. Now, if I've heard 1 season, never buy it. If your sleeping bag's rated for -30, it is. So that's my word of advice there. Be a little prepared heat-wise. And I can also cook on this, which I plan to do. That make less gear in the bags, multi-purpose tool. I love it. Let the grand tour begin here. It's really not advisable to use the same trail in and out if you're leaving tracks in the snow, but I will see what we can do here. Here doesn't stick out too badly at all. And this is the industrial park right here. And continue out, and we'll see exactly what it does or does not look like from the road. It's my favorite part. Let's see. Oh, I think that's going to be great. I'm probably 100 feet into the woods, taking a little bit of a different trail out here this time. And perfect. Okay. So, there are some other footprints that aren't mine. Actually, I think those are. Oh, well, no, they're not. Those are somebody else's. Okay. So from here, here's a slight, if you were really looking, you could probably see. And out here, the main area, I'm right in front of a no parking zone. So that's okay. There's no parking this side of the sun, which is okay. I can kind of see it. You got these beautiful and very rare to see people that have a good spot like this. The city doesn't seem to want people camping in the public parks, but yeah, I think that'll be quite good. There's a gas station just up the road, a couple of blocks, in case I need anything, or if there's an emergency, bathroom-wise. So yeah, once these streetlights go on, that'll actually make it a little bit harder to see into the woods. So, excellent. No, it's definitely not invisible. So I'll have to be out here relatively early in the morning. I've stayed in less stealthy spots than this, I can say that. I'm completely surrounded by industrial stuff as far as you can see. Everybody seems to gone home because it's past 5 now. And this is the perfect spot, in my opinion. If I were living rough and I was unemployed, I'd be right here because you're so close to places to hand out resumes. Gas station right up the road. Yeah, this is perfect home. Clearly something's going on close by. The police helicopter flew over, as well as a bunch of sirens. I don't even want to turn on a flashlight right now until everything calms down a little bit around here. All the law enforcement activity has stopped here, so I'm going to do the true torture test. Flashlight on full power. I'm going to put this into the tent here, and this is bright. And I'm going to see. It looks pretty illuminated to me. And yeah, that's pretty obvious, I think. It's not good. Let's move out to the road. Coast is clear. And, okay, if somebody was driving by, oh yeah, you would see that for sure. It was just raining outside, and that's strange because yesterday it was about minus 20 degrees Celsius out here, and now it's warming up, which I'm very thankful for. But considering the light draws so much attention from here, I've taken a small flashlight and I've wrapped a single-use plastic bag around it, which makes it a multiple-use plastic bag. That should draw less attention from outside there. I'll see if I can hang this up there somewhere. Oh, that should probably work. And then we can see exactly what we're doing here. I've got the propane heater here, which has been running probably since 4 or 5 o'clock. I got here about 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I put it on right away because it was super cold. It's warming up a little bit here, which is fantastic. But I've got another propane cylinder ready to go. Another flashlight stuck to it. Magnetical. I think my propane cylinder is on its last legs. That was a good life for the first little cylinder. But we've got a spare. I just got off of a live stream for the Steve Wallace Step 2 channel. And that is where I put all the stuff that doesn't fit the full weekly thing with advance warning and all that. So I was very pleased to see everybody on there. It was very, very cool. And it kind of makes me feel less alone when I'm camping. Because usually I'll sit on the phone in between shots and have chats with crazy neighbor and beautiful wife and other people. But it's so nice to chat with a bunch of people. So that was great. Thank you for everybody that came onto the Steve Wallace Step 2 channel. Yeah. Extra heat. That'll be great. Johnsonville. This is going to be good, particularly with mustard. Fresh baked buns you can split with your hands. And fresh today they were indeed. Oh, yes. Oh, this is going to be good. Well, I've enjoyed my dinner, and I'm pretty much satisfied that it's a ghost town around here. So I want to take another peek outside and see with this dim light how much of it is visible from the street. Here we go. I really see nothing in the woods there. If I scan around this way, behind me I see a car that looks like a van that somebody could be actually stealth camping in. So I'm going to give them their privacy, get back into the woods here. Yes, it's confirmed. This is severely stealthy. From the road, you really can't see anything with this little light going. If anybody was actually driving around, which they're not. I have to give a huge thumbs up to all the people that donated to the beer donation fund. I don't get the names of the people that bought the merch, but thank you guys as well. I'm glad you're getting something tangible and contributing to the channel. So everybody is so excellent. People that leave kind comments as well. That helps to outweigh the mean ones. I know I get overwhelmed sometimes when I get a couple or three bad ones, and I'm just like, okay, I just can't look at any more comments today. But I know that 99% of you guys are all awesome. So I'm gonna dig back into the comments, but I get thrown off my game a little bit sometimes, so you have to forgive me for that if you can. I'm breaking out Old Yeller here, and I'm getting into the Hennessy 4-season. It's got a built-in type of underquilt layer, which looks pretty good. I've used thermarests, etc., inside of these hammocks, and they just move around underneath you too much, so you can't really stay centered. So that's all right. Old Yeller here seems to be rated to minus 12 Celsius, I think it says somewhere on it. And that basically means it's rated till freezing. And stuff this in here. It is much nicer to have a hammock in these situations versus a tent. Now, a tent, it's a bit of a mad scramble if there is an issue when you're stealth camping, because you have no idea what's happening outside. Can't really see that well out the windows or whatever. Out here, I can easily lift up and see what's going on outside. It doesn't hold the heat in all that well, but you know, that's only an issue 3 seasons of the year. So I'd say hammock is good, but I'm tempted to test this out as a bivvy, actually. This could perform very well just strung along the ground, even if you got a stick or something you could put up on either end, put a tarp over top of you. I think you could do quite well just sleeping on the ground. This thing on low, actually, turns out I wasn't using it properly. It goes way hotter than what I had before, which makes sense for how long the first propane cylinder lasted. And here, okay, got myself hunkered down in the hammock, which is actually, so far, surprisingly warm on the bottom side, which is where hammocks usually tend to fail in colder temperatures. So we'll see how this fares in the morning, and cheers everybody. Thanks for watching so far. If you like me getting into all sorts of trouble and doing these types of things, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Cheers. Well, good morning. I was wrong about the wind. It is windy, but no trees came down. Cozy last night. Nice and warm. I'll say this hammock, the Hennessy 4-season, asymmetrical. Yeah, it gets its 3-season rating for sure. I'm not sure about 4 seasons because it warmed up quite a bit over the night. So it's around the freezing mark right now, I do believe. So 32 Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius. And yeah, that was awesome. I definitely return to the spot to definitely use this hammock in these temperatures again. We'll experiment with this and see how cold this hammock can go. But I'm going to run down to the gas station this morning to use the washroom and grab a coffee. Let's go for a walk. All right. Survived pretty good. No matter how closely I look for any widowmakers or dead trees that could come down, I'm always scared I miss one. So when it gets really windy, I can't relax too much. I'd otherwise still be sleeping right now, I'm sure of it. Yeah. Urban wildlife. perfect way to start the day. Little gas station coffee. Sweet. Pack up old Yeller here. And yeah, if this was a serious stealth, I would have been long gone before the sun came up. But I was having such a good sleep, I really didn't want the party to end. The sleeping bag takes up the most real estate, really. And I normally have these things called snake skins that just slide over my whole hammocks, but I haven't got them set up on this one yet. Makes set up and tear down way quicker. Not that this is an incredibly long step to take that. Ooh. Just like I was never here. After I get this one. Just like I was never here. Okay, haven't left anything behind. My beautiful wife has arrived to pick me up and take me away from this winter wonderland. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Febreze. When you host, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. Keep things fresh with Febreze Bathroom. It's an outlet-free air freshener with 5 odors for 45 days. So even after every flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing. La, 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 la.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's Camping with Steve. I am going to do an urban stealth camping tonight. It's snowed, it's looking pretty wintry around here. I'm going to slither into that valley over there, and we're going to camp out for the night. Hopefully undetected. As soon as the power of darkness comes, I can get in there a lot less detected. So let's go camping. I had to move a little further into the woods because the spot I had picked out, somebody was already set up there. I saw their shopping cart and everything. So I'm going to set up a shelter first here because it's chilling out fast, and tonight should be about minus 18 Celsius, which will be, I'll do the math. Sorry, I can't just do it in my head. But yeah, very first thing, I got to get a bit of a shelter set up here because that's the only thing that's going to save me. It's getting colder as we speak. I don't have gloves on because I need the dexterity in my hands right now for this setup. as always, no fancy gear. I got the cheapest tarp I could grab from a local place called Canadian Tire. And we'll see if we can rig this up as a shelter. It's got this little camping hatchet thing, Woods brand. Not fancy, but when you got a tent peg, anything's a hammer, hey? This will give me a little bit of shelter in there. And if you can't tell by now, I am not a real bushcrafter. I'm just a camper that likes to go out to the city. So I'm just using real cheap equipment that I got from a place here called Canadian Tire, which is kind of like a hardware store. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. It's in Canada. So getting thermarest inflating. Once you get in here, that should make things a lot more comfortable, and then we can hunker down. So this is unfortunately step 2 today is the thermarest, and then step 3 is all the other stuff. Then we'll get to the real step 2. I'm gonna try to be as quick and quiet as I can here, because I know they don't want me camping here. But the way it goes. I'll explain more about that for any newcomers. The regulars know what's going on with this urban camping. Again, this was a fairly inexpensive backpack as far as sleeping bags go. They get crazy when you talk about backpacking in cold weather. I'll throw this in there and get it locked up to give me some good heat power tonight. Just about ready to crawl in there. So, in here, out of the direct cold outside, I've lit one of these alcohol gel things. I don't sleep with that on, I'll tell you that. But I have a couple other things up my sleeve in case it does get too cold. An emergency bivvy that I can throw my sleeping bag into. This is made of like Tyvek stuff with a reflective layer inside. And then I have another one of these emergency fuel can things. Really, if it did get that cold, I would just kind of pack up and go back home because I am in the city, but I'm going to stick it through the night for you guys. So I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to crack a step 2. Angus Monroe. Now, there's a guy. He owns High Country Beer. And I got an email from him asking if I'd like some beer. I said, wow, do you know me? So he invited me down, took a tour of the brewery. It's real good stuff. It's actually made at Righand Distillery. It's a part of that brewery in Nisku, Alberta. So if you're in that neck of the woods, it's worth a try. My wife really loves this beer too. But this is quite good. Today I'm enjoying a High Country Ale, an English ale. Mm-hmm. All right, nothing fancy tonight for dinner, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm just going to enjoy this, and then we'll continue on with the evening. Holy moly, it is cold. I'm going to preemptively put my sleeping bag into this emergency escape bivvy so that I don't have to do that in the middle of the night. And the only thing keeping me from giving up and going home right now is this little can of gelled alcohol fuel. It'll be fine once I crawl into that sleeping bag. But until then, sitting around in this tent is not all that fun. I was going to go outside to do the cooking, but as soon as I got outside, I realized that's not going to happen. So, this bivvy I'll keep ready. Hopefully the sleeping bag will fit in it. And this was pretty cheap. It's obviously not serious camping equipment. This is like for an emergency. But sleeping bag will go in there. And I do have, in case of emergency, if there's an animal around, I got bear spray. and that goes for any animal on 4 legs or 2. And I'm going to be cooking probably in here tonight. I have Canadian MREs, they're called IMPs, and it's a little box, got a lot of good stuff in it. So I'm going to put that sleeping bag in there, work up the courage to go outside and grab a couple of the other odds and ends. But this is, I can't believe there's people that actually just live out here year round. Like, I have the luxury of going home. These guys don't. Oh man, it shows you it kind of is pretty tough out here in the winter. That's for sure. But I'm gonna get this all ready. Oh, it's got a nice zipper. Oh, good. The zipper's on the same side as the sleeping bag. Perfect. I was worried about that. Oh yes. It is so chilly that the camera battery didn't want to charge. That's a problem. So I'm gonna get into dinner real quick, and then I got to throw a bunch of things in the sleeping bag with me. And I also wouldn't mind throwing this thing on to cook the meal with. So this is just one of those isobutane cylinders, which also they don't like to work when it's really cold, so it's another reason to get going. This little stove that screws onto the top of it, picked that up at the Canadian Tire place, I think, for $20 or something. So you don't need really the best gear. Of course, it makes it easier, but it's not necessary, technically. So we're going to crack open a Canadian IMP, Canadian MRE version. It's loaded with stuff. I'm not going to be able to eat it all. These are for hard-working men in combat. And all I did was walk out here and just set up the tent. So I'm not going to need quite as much nutrients. But inside, if I was fly, run wild and free, I want you to be my sleeping bee. And if I was a tree grown tall and green, I want you to shade me and be my Try Crest 3D White. Finally, a daily whitening toothpaste for whiter teeth in one day. Oh, that's nothing with the new Bounty. It's 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. And one sheet holds up better while ordinary brands fall apart. It's good. Get more done with one. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. Booking.com has stays for absolutely anyone. Imagine you're a merman. You find a beach resort for your mer family with a plunge pool, a wave pool, and yoga. What? Mermen do yoga too. If a merman can find their perfect stay, anyone can. Booking.com, booking.yeah. Among neck pain sufferers, BioFreeze Gel was found to be 2 times more effective than ice. Of the MRE pouch, you've got your main entree. And this case, it is turkey with orange sauce. And that comes in one of these pouches. And I'm going to put that in a little bit of water in a pan to warm it up. When I get to that, but I'll just show you every other neat little thing in here. A dessert pouch comes in the same type of foil container guy there. For dessert, sliced peaches. I don't like peaches. Okay, moving along. Oh boy. There is a hamburger bun. That's concerning, but what else do we have? Reese's Pieces peanut butter candy. Well, that's okay. Could be nice. Oh, some tropical trail mix. Little strawberry jam. Oh, some espresso roast coffee, along with the coffee whitener and some sugar. There is a Frank's Red Hot, because that stuff goes on just about anything. There's a drink mixing pouch where you can put your proper levels of water in there. Of course, you've got your utensil. Stuff keeps coming out of this like a bag. Oh, some Tic Tacs for afterwards. And a couple more goodies in here. Peanut butter, because that's high in nutrients. Grape sports drink. A hand wipies. And the coolest thing that they throw in is a book of matches. So clearly I'm not eating all of that. Basically, I'm going to eat this and have some dessert, and I'm going to hunker down. So that's everything in the MRE, or the Canadian IMP, and we'll get this cooking. This I got to be careful with because if this spills, I'm going to have a bad night. But there's no way I'm cooking outside right now. It shouldn't take too much time at all. So yeah, we are in the city, and it is $100 fine to be camping in these parks between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. So I'm not even breaking the law yet, but I'll be asleep when I am. So it's similar to the fine like walking a dog off leash when it should be on